electronic cigarettes are not a magic cure. Many people, many smokers have tried using them and have not continued using them. And so why is that the case? So that's something else that we picked up in the report. So encouraging people to switch is one thing, but we know that people need to use the most effective devices and need to use it regularly on a daily basis in order to quit smoking. So what can we do not only to encourage people to switch, but encourage people to continue using? And evidence suggests, why don't people carry on using once they've tried it? Well, over half the people said this was because it wasn't satisfying enough, it didn't reduce my cravings for smoking, didn't find it enjoyable, and so on. So our recommendations also focus on improving ease of use, improving product development, not restricting levels of nicotine in the liquid to arbitrary low levels when there is no evidence to suggest that higher levels cause harm. In fact, the opposite may be the case. And this is something I can talk about because we've done a lot of research in this area. So the Tobacco Products Directive caps the amount of nicotine in e-liquid at 20 milligrams per milliliter. Many people, well, a small minority were using levels above that. So we were interested in exploring, well, what happens when people who are using a high level switch to using a low level. And just like with tobacco smoking, vapors are very good at changing the way they puff. They puff longer, they take more puffs, and of course that costs more. They get through more e-liquid. And if there is any harms associated with vaping, by doubling the amount you consume, you're going to be doubling your exposure to any harmful constituents. So in fact, capping the amount of nicotine is not necessarily a good thing. People may be compensating and increasing harm, but on the other hand, not even getting the high level of nicotine they need to satisfy their craving. And researchers have shown that when people start vaping, they do need the higher concentrations of nicotine in their e-liquid to be able to successfully transition. So if there's good evidence, of course, that high nicotine levels in e-liquid is causing harm, then by all means cap the level. But in fact, the evidence that does exist suggests that the opposite might actually be the case.